The Woman Who Waited. Chapter 1. The Child Near the Temple Wall. It was late evening when Sarah finished her work at the old textile shop. Her back hurt, her fingers were sore, and her eyes burned from staring at fabric all day. The street was quiet, wrapped in soft orange light from the street lamps. She pulled her shawl closer around her shoulders and began walking home. That was when she heard it. A sound so small it almost disappeared into the night. A child's cry. Sarah stopped. She listened again. There it was, weak, broken, scared. She followed the sound until she reached the old temple wall near the road. Sitting there, with his knees pulled to his chest, was a little boy. His clothes were dirty, his feet were bare, his eyes were wide with fear. Sarah's heart tightened. She bent down slowly. "Where is your family, child?" she asked gently. The boy looked up. His lips trembled. "I don't know," he whispered. Her breath caught. "What is your name?" she asked. "Lucas." That was all he said before tears ran down his cheeks. The night wind was cold. The boy was shaking. Without thinking, Sarah took off her shawl and wrapped it around him. "You shouldn't sit here," she said softly. "You'll get sick." He looked at her with fear and hope mixed together. "Are you going to leave me too?" he asked. Sarah shook her head. "No, come with me." He held her hand tightly, as if afraid she might disappear. That night, Sarah brought him to her small home. Chapter 2. A House That Learned to Breathe. Sarah's house was simple: one bed, one chair, a small table, and a stove that made noise when it worked. She gave Lucas warm water, bread, and a little soup. He ate slowly, looking around as if he didn't believe this was real. "You can sleep here," Sarah said. "Tomorrow we'll find your family." But tomorrow came and went. No one came looking. She asked people near the temple. She asked shop owners. She even went to the police. No one knew the boy. Days became weeks. Lucas began calling her Auntie, then slowly one day, Ma. Each time he said it, her eyes filled with tears. She had never been a mother. Life had never given her that chance. Now, suddenly, someone needed her. Her neighbor once said, "Why keep a child that is not yours?" Sarah replied quietly, "Love doesn't ask where someone comes from. It asks where they belong." The neighbor had no answer. Chapter 3. Growing Together. Lucas changed quickly. His eyes became brighter. His smile returned. He laughed loudly, ran freely, and helped Sarah with small tasks. He fetched water, cleaned the floor, and sat beside her while she worked. Every night, Sarah told him stories about kindness, honesty, and hope. "You are a good boy," she told him often. "One day you will become someone kind." Lucas would hug her tightly and say, "I'll never leave you, Ma." Those words lived inside her heart. Sarah worked harder than ever. She stitched clothes late into the night, saving coins in a small metal box. It was all for Lucas. When she coughed, Lucas brought her water. "When I grow up, you won't work anymore," he said proudly. She smiled. "We'll see, my hero." But sometimes, late at night, she wondered, who left him there? Why? Chapter 4. A Mother's Silent Giving. Lucas grew into a smart, curious boy. School fees were difficult, books were expensive. Sarah never showed her fear. One night she counted her savings. It wasn't enough. She looked at the small gold necklace she owned, the only memory of her past. The next morning she sold it. When Lucas asked, "Ma, where is your necklace?" she smiled. "It was too heavy for me." He never knew the truth. When his shoes broke, she stitched them. When he fell sick, she stayed awake all night. When he failed once, she hugged him and said, "Failure is not the end, giving up is." Her love had no noise, only action. Chapter 5. The Day He Left. Lucas grew into a tall, handsome young man. His teachers said he was special. He should study in the city, they said. Lucas was excited and afraid. "How will we afford it?" he asked. Sarah looked into his eyes and said firmly, "Dreams come before money." She sold more things. She worked more hours. When the acceptance letter arrived, Lucas ran home shouting, "Ma, I got in!" She hugged him tightly, hiding her tears. That night, she packed his bag carefully. She placed a small photo of them together inside. "Whenever you feel lonely," Sarah said, "look at this." The morning he left, the house became quiet again. Sarah stood at the door until the bus disappeared. She whispered, "Fly high, my child." Chapter 6. The city changed him. The city was loud, fast, and unforgiving. Lucas felt small. People laughed at his simple clothes and soft words. Slowly, he learned to hide who he was. He made new friends, new habits, new dreams. He met Clara, a confident girl from a rich family. She didn't like his past. "Don't talk about your village mother," she said. "It sounds awkward." That sentence cut him deeply. When Sarah called, he said, "I'm busy, Ma." Soon calls became rare. Letters stopped. Sarah waited by the phone every night. She never complained. Chapter 7. The Years of Waiting. Sarah grew older. Her hands shook, her back bent. Still, she waited. "He'll come," she told herself. In the city, Lucas climbed higher. Better job, better home. But his heart felt empty. One day, he received a letter from Sarah's neighbor. It said, "She is not well." Lucas read it, then put it away. "I'll go later," he told himself. Later never came. Chapter 8. The Call That Broke Him. One rainy evening, Lucas helped an old woman cross the street. She smiled and said, "My son used to do this for me." That night, Lucas couldn't sleep. He tried calling Sarah. The number didn't work. Fear filled his chest. He packed his bag and left immediately. Chapter 9. Coming Home Too Fast. When Lucas reached the old house, the door was open. Inside, everything was quiet. A bowl of soup sat on the table, still warm. At the hospital, the nurse said softly, "She's been waiting for you." Lucas ran to her room. Sarah lay weak, thin, but smiling. "You came," she whispered. He fell to his knees. "I'm sorry, Ma." She touched his face. "You didn't forget me. You just lost your way." She gave her diary. Every page was filled with love. "I never stopped being your mother," she said. Chapter 10. Love Finishes the Circle. Sarah passed away peacefully days later. Lucas stayed. He opened a home for lost children. He named it Sarah's Hope. Every night he lit a candle beside her photo. "She waited," he told the children, "so I won't let anyone wait alone." Love had returned home.